Just a very few days to the graduation ceremony of the 2022 Graduands, and we are very happy and waiting optimistically for the day, which will be the 28th of May 2022. Here I am with two gentlemen who are graduating this year 2022, and it will be one of their memorable days. Just to note in their diaries so that every time they look at it they know that yes, I have just begun that other journey.
Bananga bami n'abachara naze kubanyonyora nti bwoba ng'olina omukolo gwonna gw'olina oyagala kuyingira ennyumba olina ronchi gy'okola olina hoteri olina embaga olina urumbe olina buli kalonde yonna ng'oyagala bagutere ku Zoom, YouTube wamu ne ku Facebook. Njagala kugamba nti Aite TV be basobola okubeera nga bakikolerako bulungi nnyo, balina kamera ennungi nkambwe, balikirya nnyo, bamanyi kibakola eby'oluzungu, eby'oluganda, eby'olunyankole, buli kalonde yonna baguteerako buteezi. N'olwekyo mukwano gyaffe
Aite TV, empowering you.
So welcome from that short break. This is Graduands Cementa, your host always every Saturday on the Youth Feedback, Aite TV, empowering you. And yes, as I had told you that I am here with the Graduands. On my right is Joel. Yes, Joel Awasa. And then on my left is Ezra. Okay, Ezra, and you are welcome on the show.
Thank you.
Okay, and we are doing this live at the university, that is MUST, Mbara University of Science and Technology. And maybe to just start the whole story and the discussion of the day, because we want to look at my journey, my campus life and my journey, how you have been, how campus has been from the start, and now that we are just waiting for just 1 week to call it off. Who is Joel and who has been Joel within MUST?
Once again, my name is Joel Abasa, and I have been a student of Bachelor of Science in Accounting and Finance in the Faculty of Business and Management Sciences. And I was privileged to be one of the leaders. I was a class president in the second week when I joined the university. And subsequently, I took up several leadership roles. I also became a guild representative for my course, Bachelor of Science in Accounting and Finance. And then I was a vice president of Tax Society, ULA Tax Society, and I was also a leader in Mubusa. Yeah. Okay,
that is very interesting. You served in various positions. How were you balancing that with your studies?
When I came to Mbara University, I basically wanted two things. One was to excel in academics and also to boost my leadership career, because I'm also interested in being a leader in my country.
Okay, so we are seeing this great leader after the university, since we are just calling it a week to go. But could there be some of the things that you've really learned that you will always employ, like later on in other societies, especially what you've learned from the leadership of MUST?
Absolutely. I have learned a lot to do with leadership. I've learned how to work with people who have various backgrounds, people who have various attitudes. Okay. There's all that in leadership. And of course, MUST, as a very good institution, like you all out there know it, I have learned several things to do with academics, and I'm really so sure that we shall have a lot to give out there to the community once they take us on for jobs, of course.
Amazing, amazing. And yes, not that I was just taking one side. We have Ezra here. And Ezra, once again, you're welcome on the show.
Thank you.
Okay, so now to our viewers out there who are watching you, you can first say hello and you tell us who Ezra has been and whom he is.
Yeah, hello everyone watching. Well, to repeat my names, but I don't have saying my names because of a reason I'm about to reveal. I am Tumsime Ezra Jr. Yeah, the reason is I share both names with my father, Tumsime Ezra, who should be senior. And currently, at MUST, I was, unlike my friend, I was much more of a technical leader, not a political leader. So I I began my first year with the programming club. I was the year one representative. Okay, I was the freshers representative. I represented all the freshers, which gave me a pace actually, which helped me a lot because I had to represent these people. I had to know more than they do, so that when they come, I get them on the pace, and that also accelerated my other side of academics. Some lectures had to accelerate me so that I lead those students technically. Then in year 2, I joined Mukosa. Then I also became, actually in Mukosa I was the assistant technical leader. Mukosa is Mbara University Computing Students Association.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you made any special innovations within the university that even when you are gone, someone can be like, this was made by Ezra?
Yeah. I don't know if that list has anything like an end, but I'll mention a few whereby some I didn't personally work on them, some I worked on them, then some I supported, some I advocated for, some like that. So to mention but a few, first of all, the first innovation I will first mention was how we changed the programming club at MAST. And my surprise actually, after us speaking of changing the programming club, the tools taught, I later realized that even MAST as the whole university was changing in the curriculum to include the tools we were teaching in programming club in the whole curriculum of the university as the new normal. So that made me got me motivated. I thought the other time I was not doing anything good, but when I heard of that, I was like, okay, that means we have opened a new trend. That was my first innovation. The second innovation was my final year project was chosen among those that went for FCI awards. Yield Up, it's actually still online. It's on yieldup.rockup.com, and most people at MAST have actually interacted with it, including lecturers, researchers, fellow students.
Which project was it? What was it about?
Yeah, Yield Up was an agriculture-based project which was doing a lot of things. Amongst was connecting local farmers to medical personnel, whom you can term as veterinary doctors, but not specifically only veterinary doctors. Then it was also doing some disease diagnosis on just taking an image of the peak of the leaves of beans. So you could take the peak of leaves and then it could diagnose and tell you that this plant is healthy, it is having this disease, and it would even recommend you what to do next.
Okay.
Yeah, other projects include my friends projects include Monya. Actually, Monya is something that is still on even now. Okay. We still support it. My friend out there called Patrick, he came up with this tool whereby he's trying to do a Spotify
I think
of
he was
Africa.
the best in that challenge.
Yeah, actually, he was the best with another innovation called Soira.
Okay.
But here I'm talking about Monya. You should try and see it. It is the Spotify of Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, and other people, my friends, came up with pneumonia diagnosis. We were working on this as a big team, a very big team.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you guys have done a lot of innovations within the university, but then when you are out there, shall these innovations be applied, or it will just keep as a must thing? Are you also extending this to the community as you are going, or is it already progressing in your communities, or it is just a must thing just to pass exams?
Yeah, well, that's both sided. Most of the ideas end up being a must thing. They end up in the bookstores of MAST, in the shelves. But you, the author, you, the founder, you, the creator of that innovation, you already take up your part. For example, when I was going for there's some part I missed. I'm currently employed with Service Corps in Kampala, Kololo. So when I was going for this interview, I had not yet graduated. Okay. So they didn't ask me for any academic document.
Wow.
Yes, but they asked me one question: what have you done? So I answered the question of what have you done by presenting Yield Up to them. So when they looked at the whole project, they were like, this is the developer we are looking for. And right now, I'm still working from there.
So now should we credit Must for that, or we should credit you as a person?
No, we credit Must because it was Must. It was my supervisor, Mr. Dr. Kagwa. It was my lecturer. I mean, Mr. Kauma, Dr. Everest. Those guys, it's their effort. It's their effort.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I would also say, I can't say this and I fail to give credit to the communities around Must. Yeah, communities, including, because that project was first pitched in GDCSC. Google Developers Student Club.
Okay.
That's why I first pitched it. Then it went on the global level, international level, but it didn't go through because of some reasons. And then I proceeded it for final year.
Okay.
So if we had known those communities, GDSC, Hive Collab, AET, Innovation Village, Camtech, also these ideas wouldn't have come up the way they are coming out.
I'm seeing the way how students are just making the word technology in Bara University of Science and Technology so relevant. Not just a hearsay, but it's a reality. Sure. Back to him. Yes. So now I just want us to share, we share our own stories, the way we started, how we came into Mbara University, what has been, okay, you've already talked about what you've done in Must, but I know that there are some things that you have not told us. To the viewer out there wants to know how you came to the university, how your life has been through university, and then also how you are faring apparently and what you are yet to do. Because we do not want this to just phase out like that. If you have been a leader, we want to know what else. Yes, if you have been an innovator, what else? Maybe to start from how you came to Must, how you took up the business course.
Yes.
I know that when we are growing, our goals keep changing. When you are in nursery, you have a different goal. These goals that we always sing, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a doctor, until you reach primary. And then when you pass SST, you're like, I want to be a lawyer. And then you go to high school. And then in high school, your other vision is determined by your performance at senior 4. And then you keep changing till university. So how has your life been?
I thank you for that. I want to also talk about something. During the course, we have one of the doctors in our faculty called Dr. Kijambo, who on several occasions would ask us, was this course your choice? Every time you're failing to do coursework, say, it was your choice. So I have to note that when I was coming here, this was not actually my choice. I didn't love it as much as I do now. Bachelor of Science in Accounting and Finance, and of course I love it so much because already I have seen the great impact that it adds on the society, especially having done it from Bara University. Okay. So when I was growing up, I always wanted to be an architect until when I could not pursue that anymore. So when I was coming to university, now I had to, make up my mind to do this course. And just in one semester, I had seen how much the community really needs accounting, especially cost accounting. Because in every field all over the place has to do with costs, and especially in a time like now when we have inflation and all that, it becomes a very serious thing that every institution has to be conscious with costs. So throughout my university time, I focused so much on books. I really miss books, by the way. I did not know that. Yes, when I see some of these buildings down here, and I'm very happy to note that I excelled. I'm very happy. I know my parents also are happy. And 28th will really be a big deal for all of us.
Wow. So
I always like to do leadership. When I was in the house, I was, one of those, we made a lot of noise in there, but we learned a lot to do with public speech. We learned a lot to do with handling people's tempers. Someone jumps on you and is throwing very tough words on you, and then you have to calm down and answer them in an appropriate way. So I was very happy to have an all-round thing at Mbara University, to be able to concentrate on my academics and produce good grades, and also as someone who was dealing two-way leadership and academics and professionalism, also to get a big deal in academics and also in my leadership.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe to take you back when you are still in primary 7, what did you want to be in the future?
Primary 7, I
Yes.
wanted to be a doctor. So when I began my senior one, I wanted to be a doctor, and my dream dropped as soon as immediately, I think. Because I think after the first term, I realized that was not my thing. The marks were not adding up to that. So, but I got a very interesting subject, which was technical drawing, and that moved me in that direction of being an architect by that time. But then, when I changed school, I was from Bara High School by that time. When I changed school where I went, I did not find technical drawing. So I did MEG for my A level. And when I did MEG, I did economics. I found some good stuff in economics. I said, I would like this. So that's how now I end up coming to accounting. From doctor to architect, and finally now an accountant.
Didn't you at any time think of being a teacher?
Oh, I think that is one profession that I never liked in my life. One of the days when we were at Bara High School, there's when we had a strike, and students were saying, we want the head of a certain teacher. I think he had done something on one of the matches. So from that very day, I said, now imagine students are looking for my head. That's the one profession I had never thought. I'm not saying it's bad, but personally, I did not really, at any one moment of time, think about being a teacher.
Okay, so you just thought of what could come out of that dark night when it's a strike in school.
Yeah, sure.
And you're the priority.
Hey.
I can term it like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so today I have two contradicting sides. Yes, they are parallel, but then we shall handle. So to the person, to Ezra, yes. So to Ezra, so how has been your academic journey, and what were your goals before you came to university?
Yeah, I didn't know that my fellow was also from Chapa. I didn't know. Okay, when I started in P7, I remember there was a compassion project somewhere. Then I sneaked into their office. Then I found a computer on.
Okay.
When I found it on, I tried to see what I can do on a computer. I had never touched a computer in my life, but it was in P7. Before touching that computer, I wanted to be a lawyer, and actually I was a good lawyer home. I was a very good lawyer. No one could beat me in any case. But when I touched the keyboards of that computer, it's like I was awakening some ghost in me, which saw this machine and was like, "You man, this is your destiny.
Like, wake up.
Wake up.
You've
This
been
is where you
sleeping."
are." Yeah.
Okay.
So when I got to, of course, I had to give up on it because it was P7. So when I came to, I'm someone who has always done all my academic documents are balanced. If you go to my P7, you find 222, senior 4, you find 222. So I'm someone who could not choose a course or something according to my performance. Okay? So I had to base on reality. What do I want? So when I went to senior 1, my dream of being a lawyer stayed. Then senior 2, I was like, there's this piloting school, I can be a pilot. Yes. In senior 3, the other ghost took over. The ghost took over. But now it took over with me wanting to do computer engineering. I wanted to do computer engineering. I finished senior 3 computer engineering, senior 4 computer engineering. Now senior 5, that's when I actually joined Bara High School. There's this dose called Odongo. I don't know if that man is still available. In senior 4, I had failed physics and biology. They were my worst performed subjects. When I went to Chapa, Odongo was like, we can never give you any combination in any subject which you are above grade 3. And physics and math were already wrong. They were in another angle. Not so final. It was a grade 5. I am not shy to talk about my results.
Yeah, sure.
So when I talked to this guy, he was like, what do you want? I was like, me, I want anything to do with tech. So he was like, you can still do a combination here that will give you tech, but on one condition. You are not going to go to Makerere. I was like, why? Makerere, to do computer science, you need physics. But must here to do computer science because it's
open.
It's not that open because it's a campus that focuses on tech. They don't need to harass you with a lot of requirements to get in.
Okay.
So when I reached out, they were like, we only need math. So Mr. Odongo told me in senior 5 that you will only be able to do computer science with your MEG. I also did MEG, but if you choose to go to math. So from senior 5, my future was already defined from there.
Yeah.
So I knew senior 5 I have to do computer science. I read for computer science. But actually I got my first machine. The first laptop I owned was in senior 4. My brother brought me a machine from abroad. I was happy, so I started interacting with the machine. Now the ghost was awake for good. Here I joined the campus. We joined the campus in 2018, right? Yeah. We came to do computer science as we were a number of, 83 students. Then they introduced this magic in computer science. The class was just 43. I was like, I'm here. This is where I belong. Then we continued with the magic of computer science. The class had to decrease more and more. People were joining biomedical, computer engineering, what? I was like, no, I belong to computer science. I have to go with computer science. And up to now, I'm graduating with computer science.
Congratulations.
And I'm already employed in the computer science field.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. So this ghost is serious.
It's fully awake now.
Okay,
No
so
rest.
within the university, have you been a leader or in line with leadership and the politics of the university?
Okay. Leadership was I last longed for leadership when I was in senior 3. I had a post of HP and I didn't even finish it. And from then, I remember when I was in CHAP, I tried to be a chief, hostel chief. Yeah, but some reasons came up, I had to drop it. I even wanted to be Mr. CHAP at some point. Sometime. But also some reasons had to force me. Actually, when they forced me to do that, they even changed my whole lifestyle. I changed my whole lifestyle because of that. So when I go to campus, actually for me, I'm someone who doesn't lead, but I'm someone who loves to see good leaders. So in year 1, instead of competing to be a leader, I chose the leaders. If you can ask the computer science class, we've never voted for the president, we never voted for the vice. I saw my friend called Dr. Samson. I was like, you can be a leader. You are our president. And from then up to now.
You told us that you are the leader of the programming.
Yeah, I'll get to that. So
Okay.
This political leadership.
Okay.
Political leadership. So I couldn't go for any leadership in politics as far as politics are concerned. However, if you're describing me, I'm still a student because I'm not yet graduated. I'm a teacher. The reason why I say I'm a teacher is I love training people. That's the leadership I love.
Okay.
Yeah, I love people who do things not only my way but the right way. So that's why you see I had to join those technical clubs and join them as a leader. I was the events planner in GDSC. I was the technical leader technical director in programming club. I was the tutorial assistant in Mukosa. I was the representative in programming club. All those are related to tech. I want to help people to understand the tech the way I understand it, but not lead them. I'm not a leader. Yes.
Even right now, you're not a leader.
Yeah, even now I'm not a leader.
So who does the pitching? Who does all that stuff that you do when you are there, where you work apparently in Kampala?
Service Corps is an ISO standard certified company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. ISO standards means it has a framework that has been approved that can operate international.
Oh, okay. Fine.
Yeah, you will never share roles with someone. I cannot be a computer scientist and then you find me working with accounts. No. The sectors, the departments are already set up, established for people who do system analysis, risk assessment, financial assessment. Then for me, my job is to just program.
All right,
just
let's
program.
just go for a short break, and when we come back, we shall be having Joel's story.
bananga bami n'abakyala naze kubanyonnyola nti bw'oba ng'olina omukolo gwonna gw'olina oyagala kuyingira ennyumba olina lonchi gy'okola olina woteeri olina embaga olina ulumbe olina buli kalonde yoona ng'oyagala bagutere ku Zoom, YouTube wamu ne ku Facebook. Njagala kugamba nti ITTV be basobola okubeera nga bakikolerako bulungi nnyo balina kamera ennungi nkambwe balikirya nnyo bamanyi kibakola eby'oluzungu eby'oluganda eby'olunyankole buli kalonde yoona baguteerako buteezi n'olwekyo mukwano gyaffe tusubwa yangwa mangu.
A Youth TV, empowering you.
So welcome back from that short break, still with Bridget and Samantha on the youth feedback. So now, before we joined university, we had some expectations, but were these expectations fulfilled? Everyone just, when they are still in high school and then they get to know that there is this so-called university, they are always expecting a lot. Life at the university, you know, the stories that you get from the people that have been there, even from your own teachers.
Sure.
But is it what you found at the university?
Oh, thank you so much, Bridget. I think at university, when I reached Mbara University here, I actually got more than what I expected. My
Sure.
dreams were clear, especially when I was coming. I had to put them right. Like I told you, I wanted to achieve all the academic excellence that I had failed
Hey,
ever. Huh?
you were a bookworm.
I'd never gotten to where I had always wanted. Okay, so I really reached exactly where I wanted, and I just passed by a few. Yes, that was one, and also in terms of leadership, I really had it all. I want to say, I want to think that in these 4 years, really, I have been at Mbara University. I have had so much.
There are
of it.
four.
There are four because you know there was this COVID. I'm doing a 3-year course, but I did it in 4 years. Yeah, so I really had so much of it. When I reached here, like I told you, I became a class president in the second week. So when I became a class president after being chosen by my fellow students, my classmates, that is one thing that triggered everything that I did from the very first day. Because first of all, after the first semester, when I saw my marks, I said, now, as a leader, really, I should not embarrass myself. So to begin with, it triggered my reading. I had to make sure that I always read to a certain level where really I can feel comfortable as a leader.
Okay.
Yes, and then also when I had to go for guild representative position, I always had that favor because students had seen what I was doing basically, and I really moved. I also went to youth leadership when in 2021, and I managed to reach city as a leader of Mbara City youth. That was in the line of youth. So really, I think that's how my story has been. I'm looking forward to great things. I'm lucky right now. I'm employed with the Kosia Hotel as an accountant.
Wow.
Right now, before 28. So really, and I want to thank God, of course. Of course, there are very many other students. You know, we are living in a time where universities are releasing very many students. Even if you are good, sometimes there's always that pressure. Of course, you cannot be the only one who is good. That's one. You can be good, but people are good. Then there's what we all talk about these days, connection and all that. But to manage to break through all such odds and get a job even before graduation is something that I thank God so much for.
Okay. I'm just sitting here with the big boys. So, Ezra, what could be that thing that you'll always remember when you are out there and you're like, this, if at all they took me back to MUST, it's what I would do, or this is what I'll always miss about MUST?
Well, Must is a special university, you know. Even the way it was founded, even the way it teaches, it's a special university.
Okay.
The thing I would miss about Must is the pace of innovation.
Okay.
The pace of innovation here is high. The people innovate at a pace that I don't think it's actually still the African pace. Even other campuses are trying to cope from what we are doing here. And I don't think there's any other university that has an FCI event which hosts from the VC, even a student who doesn't know anything in tech, and they are all in the same building with ministers and whatever. Even these tech hubs that are around all come to exhibit. That's only at Must. It's only here. So the community of Must, I always say people where I work from, most of them are from Makere and DJ. We are around like 3 people who are coming from Must. But I always say them I miss Must because of the community, not because of other things. The rest may be the same. The rest may be the same. Other universities have lecturers, they have lecture rooms, they have everything. But Must is special in its community, the way it engages. You will only find free workspace, free internet, free what around Must with these hubs, Innovation Village, Hive Collab. That community, the way the people are innovating in those communities, it's something I'll miss a lot. Yes.
Wow. So given I just to come back, obviously not for bachelors now. We are talking about masters and whatever.
Yeah.
So you would start with those.
If I'm given a chance to come back, actually you may find that almost 70% of my lecturers that would even be teaching me on masters are in those communities.
Okay.
Already in those communities. So still the communities will do a lot of job. And if you're a student and you're in Barara, not even at Master alone, please engage with these communities, and not even in tech alone. Because these communities will show you how to do business on top of being a technical guy.
Okay.
So you will handle those. You know how to handle, but you know how to pitch your idea. You know how to design a business canvas model. Those things that even give headaches to programmers, but you learn them from those communities.
Okay.
And by the way, I've just realized that campuses. The only thing I think it was not my question, but I also pass on it. People lied to us. People told us that at campus you shall sleep and stay and drink and go for clubbing and all. But they didn't tell us on the other part of you missing an assignment, how it costs you. They didn't tell us about how missing a single lecture is worse than actually drinking the whole night.
They told you about the freedom.
Freedom. But personally, if you see people that deny themselves that freedom, they're actually people who are actually having freedom outside campus. If you deny yourself freedom during campus, you'll get that freedom outside campus. That means you have a better job which you can go and work. And then, personally, right now I'm working, but I'm working remotely from Bara. And this is the working where I just wake up in the midnight, write whatever I write, then sleep, then wake up in the morning, first do whatever I do, then I like that. So when you deny freedom, okay, I don't advise anyone to go for this freedom in campus. It is an imposter of real freedom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had talked about you working in your second semester. Yeah, I think the last semester, right?
Yeah.
So how are you doing it? You are studying from Must and you are working in Kampala. So how are you running all that?
Thank you, but the statement was not me working, but I got my job offer in.
Oh.
Yeah, my job offer was in October. That was the first release of that job offer. Okay. But when it came in, we were going for the second semester of third year, and I couldn't balance that too. So I told these people that, you people, you see what? I'm still a student. This is something you missed to interview me on. I'm still a student. These guys never knew that I was a student because they even never asked me about it. So that's how this degree will, as long as you have a skill, the degree will never matter. And those things of our connections, gamba no go, those things will not work when you have a skill. Skills open doors, even if they are locked by what? By whichever charm. Skills will always open those doors. Because now, remember, these guys are in Kampala. This is a company which is in Kampala. and it's a fintech, it cannot look for an employer and it fails. But the HR, to my surprise, he made to me and she was like, we shall wait for you until you're done with your campus. So they waited for the whole of third semester. Though in that third semester I was working with other organizations, AEH, I was doing internship. I was training their interns. Personally, by then I was also doing internship with Firefox, a browser which I know most of you have worked with Fedora, the operating system which most of you, not most of you, but some few individuals have used it. So I was improving my career because I've already seen a company which has interest in me. So I wanted to go there when I'm set. So I had to work to touch things here and there. That's when I even worked on innovations, those innovations I mentioned earlier. By the time I finished my third year, I talked to this HR. We talked about the timing. Then she had to send me the offer again. I signed it on 17th of this month. 17th of January. I went to Kololo's and I signed the contracts, the user agreements, the all NDAs personally, and I started working.
Wow.
Yes.
That is still interesting. And I think, people have always told us to have skills. Skills do open doors, and you are an example here.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe to Joel, what are the things that you'll always remember about MUST and you think that really it has created an impact on my life?
MUST has really given us all of it. It has given us all of it. I must say we have had very wonderful lecturers up there in the business faculty. I must give credit to Dr. Kijambo, Dr. Tumihimse Manase, Dr. Sarah Navacha, Dr. Reni, Madame Deborah, one of the administrators, a very good one, and so many very good lecturers have given us all of it. And from the small experience I have had outside class, the employers, because I did internship, then after doing internship I was retained in there for about the whole year, the whole of last year. I was studying while I was doing internship. No, it was an audit firm called Obed Associates. And the experience that I have seen outside there is that employers are giving credit to students of Mbara University. Because when they go out there, they really show something different from what other people from other universities are really giving. So I give credit, of course, to my parents also, who have taken me throughout from the very first day, giving me school fees and the motivation, and my siblings and of course my classmates. I cannot forget them because we've strived all through together.
Okay, so how are you prepared for that new chapter now?
The new chapter is very tough because I have tested a little bit of it.
Since January.
Since January. I've had it's really tough. There's those days really when you get squeezed and pushed to the wall. But like we have been strong. By the way, I've come to realize that school is the easiest thing there is.
Sure.
Because there's no such pressure. Every time I would be in class there, and you know when I just feel sleepy in the lecture, sleep. I say, no, let me just go. No one will hold you back. You get? Yeah. You go back, then you know that there's people were studying, so I have to catch up. Okay? But at work there are deadlines you have to meet.
Yeah.
You cannot just say, now I'm tired, let me go. You can't just give yourself a break. But here, you can just say, no, I'm going to take a break. I go, I chill a little bit, then I come back and I catch up. But out there, you not get that. So it's tough, but of course we are tougher.
When it gets tough, you get tougher.
Sure.
Okay. So to Ezra, so how is the new normal? How is the new chapter taking you? And were you prepared for it?
Yeah, well, I would say I was prepared, but not to the extent that I actually found it. At some point, actually, it seems boring, but at some point, it becomes hard. It becomes really hard.
Because of the pressure?
Yeah, of the pressure.
Okay.
But at some point, okay, that's the nature of the jobs of software engineers and software developers. When the time comes, you find you're here, you're not swamped, and then you sleep. But then this comes a time when you have 3 projects, you have to submit them in 3 days. And then you have these long nights of looking at this machine up to morning. no outing, no what. You're just in your bed with your machine until you come up with the solution you are trying to do. But I'm not saying I wasn't prepared for it. I'm someone who has been working on projects even from year 2, like real world projects, and I've been working on deadlines. The only thing actually for me, the new normal is becoming easier because the other time I used to do the job of a software company as an individual.
Okay.
I should not bore you with the technical terms, but
We shall try to understand.
Okay. I'm someone who could go in it, then pitch an idea. Then after pitching it, I sit down and I develop prototypes. Then after prototypes, I have to develop it. After developing it, I document it. After that, I maintain it. I host it. Then I keep the loop continuous. But when I reached these companies, which have good frameworks, like service scopes, I don't do that. Actually, for me, my only part is to write the code only.
Okay.
And the other parts are taken care of. So to me, at some point, it was a relief. But it becomes a relief when you're prepared, because even this small part here, you know, when you're a software engineer, you never cease to study. Every day you're ever searching, we are Googling things we don't know, because technology is something that develops really faster. And if you sleep and be like, let me first sleep for some time, that's it. That's why you see companies like, and they are just laying off the developers, because they sleep for just a day or two and they are behind the tech they want and they are laid off. So even for you to be a good tech guy, you have to keep upgrading your game. So for me, actually, I've never ceased to read books. I've never ceased to watch tutorials. I've never ceased to read documentations of programming languages, of new tools, of new what. So I'm always reading. Yes.
Okay. So this is just interesting here.
Yeah.
I've been here with two people from two different parties, if I can call them. One is a business student, another one is a tech student. But then I think tech cuts across and also business cuts across.
Yeah.
So
we need each other.
Yes, we have to. We call it multidisciplinary, multidisciplinarity, whereby we all need each other.
Yeah.
So now, to our viewers, thank you so much for watching the Youth Feedback, and thank you so much for following to the end. And maybe as we wind up, to our guests, they will give you just a word to say bye-bye and also motivate you. Yes.
Me first.
Yes.
To our viewers, it's great to meet you, though I've not met you. But I want to say, if you're a student out there, you have to give it your best shot. That's what one of my friends said. Give it your best shot, because you might never get another opportunity. Goodbye.
Wow. So snappy. Yes.
Okay, yeah, to everyone who was watching from the beginning up to the end, mostly to my innovators, because I'm someone who loves innovating. First of all, actually, we mentioned something that is from business. I would say always take calculated risks. Don't jump on innovations because you see other people innovating. If you don't have enough capital, if you don't see how you can gather that capital, first go and look for it. Don't start a startup that will just collapse in 2 days. Yeah, make sure you take those calculated risks. Then also to junior developers, to junior engineers, other people who are coming to the engineering department, not only to software engineering, even other engineering courses, any other science course. Use the elders first, respect them, listen to them, then be ready to learn, be flexible. Always be ready, have that listening ear. That's when you learn and then cope up with these guys. Otherwise, I wish you luck. To the graduates, I wish you the best on 28th. To the entire community of Master and Barra, I love you and I wish you the best. Thank you for listening. Nice time.
Congratulations once again.
Okay.
And we wish to see you out there shining. Out there, we shall be meeting at different occasions, because now, if he is a tech person, you are a business person, you will still need me.
Oh.
I and Hussein, you'll still need us at one time to come and cover your functions.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so thank you so much, guys, for following us and loving us. We'll meet next Saturday, same time. Bye bye.